What?
Because heating the house is pretty serious this time of year. I have 2 small children. One is a baby.
Genuinely unsafe. Because most of these calls are death threats. And most of the, and like I said, even if your conspiracy has any validation, you can contend that honestly someone like me, or literally all of the people here who genuinely work their asses off every day.
At Comet Ping Pong, right?
Couldn't be involved, but we are the people at the forefront of getting, I don't know, it just, you understand what I'm saying. It's a real bummer. And that's why I don't mind actually running through with someone like you.
Right.
To try to,
right.
I'm just saying, you know what, like I said, I am well aware of this, like, thorough and deep, disturbing reality, which is the ongoing increase every year of sex trafficking across the world, but also specifically in the United States. That's well documented.
Right.
And, at the same time, it's just, I don't know, yeah, you can hear my frustration.
Yeah, I mean, I understand, but now, one more question also. I mean, like you said, you like to joke around about giving out his cell phone number. Now, if you really do have a contact number for him, why would you not release that to me? You know what I'm saying?
I genuinely don't. I was just messing with you.
Okay. I mean, that's okay. That's fine.
He's not like a friend of mine, or I don't have his phone number.
Yeah, but you've met him. You have met him, right?
Yeah, because he's the boss.
Yeah, right. Dang, sounds like something's going on there, huh?
Sorry?
What was that? That sounds like something was going on there.
I'm sitting on the front deck, and there was like a fire truck or whatever.
Right, but this is the Comet Ping Pong, in DC, right?
Yeah.
Okay, 100%, yeah. And the funny thing is have you ever been down to the basement?
I can just walk you through that. We literally do not have a basement, okay?
Okay, hold on. Let me pause you for 1 second. In 2015, James Alefantis says himself that there is no basement. In 2016, hold on.
I'm going to explain to you why he said that.
Okay.
There is a basement, right?
Mm-hmm.
That we keep our food in, and it's 2 doors down from us because he owns another restaurant. Right?
Mm-hmm.
Where there's a basement with walk-in fridges, all the stuff that you have to keep produce, all that stuff. That's what he was referring to. And because we share that, he said, I'm assuming what he meant was our collective basement or whatever. But it is literally physically not even close to anywhere. There is nothing below Comet. There just isn't.
Yeah, but you don't know that for sure. I mean, you can't say.
I do know that for sure. It is. We have like insano concrete floors. There's no basement.
Yeah.
That's all.
Well.
Wait. There is, like I told you, there exists a basement where we keep our produce. It is not a Comet. I'm just being that's real.
Right.
It's not complicated. It's literally just that.
Yeah, I mean, I understand that, but another thing is like I just don't understand like the whole like protecting like James Alefantis. I mean, I'm not trying to obviously death threat him or anything like that. I mean, that's not my motive here. My motive here is basically just to find out I mean, I know even if you were involved, you're not going to tell me the true answers. Obviously, correct? Isn't that true?
Hypothetically, if someone was involved with the kind of thing you're talking about, they wouldn't talk about it.
Exactly. So that's all I'm trying to say. I'm not saying you are.
You understand the paradox of that, right? For the same reason you're saying that, it's a straw man argument, right? Like, you understand, just rhetorically, you could say that about any situation. And I don't know. I mean, like, I'm just saying, if that's the kind of logic you're using.
Oh, it's not. No.
Situation ever.
You heard the hashtag Pizzagate, right?
Yeah.
And what's up with all those disturbing pictures with the pizza? I mean, I just don't get that. And then working on my night cheese says, all those disturbing comments on his Instagram, like talking about, code names for boys and little girls, and I don't understand why they would be using them code names that we have got from their emails, and we have seen what they mean, and we understand what this means. They're saying pasta for a little boy. They're saying cheese.
Like I told you, I recognize that is the conclusion you've come to from reading stuff and dissecting it and coming up with meaning for it. I know about the hashtag Pizzagate. I have not read. I don't specifically know what you're talking about. I've been pretty forthright about my personal experience.
Right.
I can't answer your questions about that specifically.
I don't
mind answering all these other questions, but
right.
I will do my best. But like I said, we don't have any weird pizzas. To me, I've never heard anything about the names having double meanings other than inside jokes here about things that have nothing to do about pedophilia or anything like that.
Well, if you look at the Instagrams, I understand, like you said, why they went private because of the death threats and everything. But if you look at the Instagrams before that and you look at the pictures, don't you find those pictures just a little disturbing, kind of weird, a little, there's pizza on a guy's dick, there's pizza doing all kinds of different shit, weird.
Wait, let me explain to you about some of those, about some of the wacky, debaucherous stuff related to this. A bunch of us are debaucherous people. We are think, I don't know, being irreverent is cool. Not about pedophilia, but about I don't know, being, I don't know, it's weird, cool.
How is it weird? How is that cool and weird? That you can't even get an explanation for it.
In place of a penis, outside the context of pedophilia, it's just a weird, cool. I don't know how to explain cool stuff to you or weird stuff. You know what I mean? People post crazy pictures of shit all the time. It's just outside of the context of pedophilia. They're just not criminal.
Right, but see, I feel like they need to do a big investigation. Why not do a big investigation just to make sure to clear the air, And also,
Hey, you know what? Maybe, but it sounds like.
And also,
if the criteria by which they might choose to begin and proceed with an investigation is having
that's on them anyways. But anyways, listen.
Them, right?
Right. Anyways, but also, Mr. Alefantis went to the White House 5 times, okay?
Yeah.
Okay, you are not allowed to bring food to the White House at all. Okay, you can...
Not allowed to bring who?
No food to the White House at all, alright? So, the White House has to prepare food there, separately. That is their strict law. That's their law. It ain't coming from me. That's their law.
But what's your point?
Now, what I'm saying is, why would Mr. Alefantis go to the White House 5 times? Just hang out and what? I don't get it. What was he doing? And how?
Listen, James is a well-connected DC small business.
Yeah, he's 49.
I'm sure you know, there are plenty in Northwest DC where a bunch of political people live in
exactly, and they are all involved in this shit, dude. He is 49, number 1 in GQ. You know that, right? He's in GQ magazine. He is number 49th most powerful. So I just don't understand how a little small pizza shop.
Because it's really cool and people really like it, and he owns another restaurant, like I said, that's all.
And then
restaurant, and he's on the board of a sweet ass art gallery, and I don't know, he's a.
You call his art sweet?
Worked really hard, I guess, on making cool establishments that people respect him for. And he's 49th, I'm pretty sure, out of 50, right? So it's in the context of what you're saying, once again, if you take it literally out of context, yeah, I don't know, in Washington, D.C., I think they mean locally. If that was true, it would only be like the entire cabinet of the president, and I'm sure in like the extended cabinet, because technically, or the people who work at the Pentagon, because it's in D.C. But when they're talking about locally in D.C., it's just like some normal thing, man. Like, you hear what I'm saying? Or at least I'm trying to genuinely respond
Right.
to what I think about what you're saying.
I respect that, and I'm glad that you took the time to talk to me and explain these things and everything. But
I genuinely appreciate you seem sensitive to that. This is a pretty precarious, double-edged thing to happen, and you're not being crazily hostile. And
no.
Back because, like I said, it's like, if you're really concerned, then, right, like, I would hope people like you would be willing to listen to those of us who actually literally have the experience of being here. And maybe the limitedness of our experience doesn't account for some of the things that you are proposing, but that's all you can do is have, like, these conversations,
Right, and also, it says basically it's for kids. The actual restaurant is for kids, but yet they have alcohol on the menu, and yet there's just different things that just don't add up. Like, why are little kids going there?
Why don't you pose that like a question, like why? And I can answer you because it is. We have ping pong tables. It's a pizza joint. I'm pretty sure pizza is like kids' favorite food. We serve beer and we have a bar, but there are plenty of places that are like, I don't know, like a full restaurant and say that they're kid friendly. Like, I don't know, like
I don't know.
Like what's that Italian place that I don't know. Whatever.
You're talking about Olive Garden?
Like Ruby Tuesdays has like crayons and shit, right?
Right.
I don't know. They would say that Ruby Tuesdays probably at once be like, come here and enjoy our sick drinks, but also bring your kids, bring your family, have a family event, just like that.
Yeah, I know. I'm just asking questions, and just that's all basically. But I just.
Well, no, I hope I'm being helpful, at least to the best of my abilities.
Yeah. The only thing that I still like, it just doesn't set well with me, is just them disturbing images on both Jimmy Comet. I know Jimmy Comet's not really a big part he is a big part in this, but also James Alefantis' pictures. He's had, and then the emails too. How can you explain the emails? Why are they saying those things?
Like I told you, I don't know what emails you're talking about because I just personally haven't read them. But it sounds like you have.
Right.
I'm not sure how they're connected, dude. Like I told you, if you genuinely want to give yourself a chance to investigate for real, using a conversation like this, I would hope that you figure in. Like I said, I think it stands for a lot for someone to say really openly and honestly, I worked here for a decent amount of time, like over a couple years now, and like every day almost. For given periods of time I've worked here, I've like picked up shifts, like working 6 days a week. I have not seen anything remotely close or resembling anything what you're talking about. And like I said, like it's just my experience, but I hope that counts for something. Like that should be telling about at least maybe you're focusing really intensely in the wrong direction, or something like that. Maybe there is some credibility to something you're talking about. Maybe I have no idea because, I haven't read the emails,
right.
I have no idea. But if you're interested in real accounts, physical, real lived experiences that take place at the place that you hold in suspicion, it should count for a lot that someone like me is saying that shit.
Yeah, but at the same time, like we have discussed before, you also agreed with me that if somebody like yourself was involved in something like that they definitely would not just admit on phone call, this is what's going on.
I think that remains the brick wall at which our conversation is going to hit. Because
right.
Conversation ever is going to end if you drop something like that. If you're interested in weighing the facts that you actually get,
Right.
That remains true, but to be honest, that feels like the seed of the very difference between investigating a problem and conspiracy. It really, the difference, you could genuinely set the difference at one in which you do a bunch of research, you investigate, you have some conversations, you weigh stuff, and then after you weigh all that stuff, no matter what, you just keep saying, well, if the facts I'm getting were actually involved, even though they're saying one thing, the facts would never relay to me that what I am suspicious of is true. It's just going to be a cycle and a cycle and a cycle. And
Right,
that's
right.
up to you to figure out when you feel satisfied or not.
Right,
I
right.
hope you find that satisfaction. I really do. And I hope you feel contented to move on to actually putting your energy, like I said, into the actual, real, ongoing, and increasing threat.
Right.
Sex trafficking. It's just
Yeah, it's a serious matter, and you're kind of laughing about it. I mean, that's sex trafficking and pedophile rings is really nothing to laugh about.
Because it kind of feels like you treat it as a joke. And
I'm not. I'm not.
When you put this much energy into such a serious situation and direct that energy at a fake example of that, it sounds like you think it's funny to just mess with people.
Oh, no.
Pedophilia.
No. Yeah, I do. Yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I get what you're saying. I do. I see.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
Anyway, it's
But-
nice talking to you. I have to go now. I got stuff to do.
Hold on 1 second, real quick, okay? Just make sure next time if you see James Alefantis recently, in the next few days or whatever, just let him know that Sharon Needles is looking to talk to him, okay? And also, please do me a favor and go home and type in #Pizzagate documentary and look it up for yourself and just look into some of this stuff. Present some of this stuff, and pick up a Bible for once, I mean, for real. I mean, let's be real now. I mean, come on. I mean, if you...
Come on, dude. Don't make it... I don't know how much more I can communicate that the notion of what you're talking about is serious. Should be serious to anyone of any conviction, any faith, any belief, any politics. It's not about that seems scary to me, where it becomes like it's not about the facts of what you're talking about, and you start saying something like that, and then it's more like if you genuinely had a different lifestyle or something. I don't know what you're saying, that it would be evident to people that this is a problem. That seems scary. It seems like a non-fact based, and instead seems like
makes sense.
You are making judgments about people's character without knowing them. And I really encourage you to reconsider that line of questioning. That's all. But I will think about passing on what you said, and I will think about researching what you're talking about. But I gotta go now. Thank you for talking.
Okay. Yep. Take care.
All right. Bye.
Post that.